Okay, so Joe1507 has asked me to do a fire-bellied newt care video. Just basically a general idea of how to care for them. In this video I'll show you the way that I care for them. It's the way that I've been doing it for the past 3 or 4 years now, and it works fine. So yeah, there are other ways, you can look those up. Panda's Pets, he has some. And there's a few other people that have these, so you can ask them how they do it as well. My way is sort of, everyone's got their sort of own way of doing it, but this is mine. So I keep 2 fire-bellied newts in a 30cm by 30cm by 30cm. It's the smallest Exoterra. 30 centimeters is just basically a foot. So yeah, that'll do perfectly for 2 fire-bellied newts. 3 would be okay as well. I'd say the maximum for this sort of tank would be 4 or 5. You don't really want to push it too much. So yeah, this is the sort of the size enclosed that you'll need for 2. The bigger, the bigger the better. You don't want to go too big, but you don't want to go too small. So, this I would say is ideal. So I'm going to open it up. It's got these glass sliding doors, which is really handy. Next thing you want to think about is putting your substrate down on the bottom. Now I use gravel, just these little pebble sort of things. I wouldn't say they're the best thing to use because there is the chance that they might ingest them while they're eating. But I've been doing it for a long time now and I've never had a problem. Panda's Pets, he also keeps his on these sort of things, so it really isn't a problem. I'm not saying that they won't ever ingest one of these stones, because they might, but I'm pretty sure they won't. So yeah, you can also use reptile carpet, though I don't know how people do that, but I have seen it. You can just have the bottom of the tank bare, but I don't think that looks very nice. Sand you can use on the bottom. I wouldn't advise that though, because all the bloodworms or whatever you feed them will get stuck in the sand. I think that's pretty much it for substrates for these guys. You not really got much to choose from because it's underwater, so yeah. Next thing you need to put in there is probably one of the most important things is the water. Now for mine, I have about a good 3 inches of water for them, and then ½ an inch of substrate. You don't really need a deep substrate, so don't go over the top with that. And yeah, so 3 inches of water will do fine considering the tank size. They're not really massive swimmers. You won't see them sort of swimming around the tank very much. They just sort of either sit on the bottom of the tank or sit on land. So yeah, they don't really need much swimming space. So that does fine. If you got a big tank, then obviously you can have it pretty deep. Just make sure you have loads of plants and stuff in there for them. But no, this sort of water level is perfect for these guys. I would say they prefer it being shallow, but that's just what I think. So yeah. Another thing you're going to need is a filter for the water, which I have under this turtle dock, so you can't see it, which is really cool. Yeah, you need one of these filters. It just keeps the water clean. Just keeps everything clean, so you really do need that. You're going to want to half empty all the water out the tank every month or 2. And then put some new water in. I don't know why, but people just say you've got to do that, so I just do that sometimes. So yeah, filter. Bad thing about these filters is because the plug socket on the end doesn't screw off because it's a waterproof one. You have to make like a big hole in the top of these. I had to just get scissors and just cut a massive thing so I could get the whole plug socket through, which is annoying. I've wrecked the tank slightly, but it doesn't really matter because you can't really see it too early. So yeah, I've gone through that. Once this background came with the tank, it looks really nice, but you can also buy them separately, which I have done before because I've got that down there. My room's a mess. Yeah, next thing you need them to be able to access land. I have a little turtle dock in here. The mini turtle dock fits perfectly into this tank. I'll just show you that. See, it just fits perfectly on one side, and I think it looks really nice. You have a bit of land there, and then they have the water. Yeah, I would strongly advise these. They're pretty cool. They look really nice. They don't really get that dirty easily. Other things you can use is a bit of cork bark. That's a good way to let them get off land, or just a big rock or something. That'll also do really good. So next thing, once you've got your land area, also people do that thing where it's like half water, half land. You can do that, but I would say this would be the better idea, just to have a turtle dock for them. Actually, before I move on, well, I didn't know if I said this before, but with the filter, if you can't fit the filter in, or you can't get a filter, I'll let you stand there, then you will have to empty all the water out and put fresh dechlorinized water in every weekly. So yeah, that would just be really annoying, I think. So it is just best to just buy a filter. They're not that expensive. Water has to be treated with dechlorinizer. I'll show you some right now. That stuff I use, Exoterra Aquatize, works really well. Use it for all my reptiles and these amphibians. So yeah, that's that. So basically, if you have all of that, then you're set. No heating required. They actually do prefer cooler than room temperature. Room temperature does the job fine, but cooler than room temperature is better, because they come from pretty cold places, you know, China and stuff. So yeah, that's basically it. I like to make the tank look nice, just because, you know, it's always nice if they look nice. So I put some plants at the back here, as you can see. This big plant in the middle, which they like to go inside, and then just another little plant here that you can't really see. So yeah, that's basically your setup. Once you've got them set up, you've got your newts. You're gonna need to feed them, obviously. So I feed mine. Oh, it's disgusting. Frozen bloodworm cubes. Just chuck one of those in there, and then after a minute or so, that'll just start to separate, and they'll go mad at it. So yeah, one of those for these two every 2 to 3 days works really well for me. I find that's just the sort of perfect amount of food for them. You can also feed them crickets. Some people say that they fed them turtle pellets as well. Mine aren't interested. These are the only things mine will eat. So yeah, it's pretty cheap as well. Doesn't really cost much, these cubes. You just sort of let them dissolve, and then the filter will actually, you know, take them around the tank, and then the newts will go and pick them up. This is the greedy one, and then that one will just wait until later. I would also say, don't handle your newts at all, really. I know I just picked it up there, but that was just to move it so you can see it better. Don't really ever handle your newts, because we have toxins in our skin that are bad for their skin, and because, you know, they absorb through their skin and stuff, so it's bad. Also, don't ever disinfect their tank with alcohol-based stuff, because that is also really bad for them, because the alcohol will get in their skin. And yep, that's basically it. So if you got any questions, just leave me a comment or send me a message and I'll get back. I hope that was okay for you, Joe. That's just sort of well, it ended up not being basic. Pretty much everything you need to know. And yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, quite a cool pet. Not too interesting because you can't really handle them, but yeah, they're pretty cool display animal. So yeah, thanks for watching, and bye.